So, hi guys, my name's James and welcome to Dublin Private Tour. And I'm going to answer a question, probably one of the most commonly asked questions I get giving tours in Dublin is, James, where can I find a really good pint of Guinness? Well, the first thing to say to anybody visiting Dublin, you're going to get a good pint of Guinness regardless where you go in Dublin. And the quality Guinness here is so much better than anywhere else in the world. And I will say that to you as a person who drinks Guinness as my go-to beer. One of the biggest disappointments when I go abroad is the quality of Guinness when I go abroad. So it doesn't taste anywhere near as good, and the quality is just, it's very bitter, it's not so nice. But there are bars in Dublin that generally do better beer. One of the reasons why it's better in Dublin is because it's made here and the local water that we use. So the water that we have here comes from outside Dublin that they use for the Guinness, but actually it's suitable to the style of beer called stout, and that's one big difference. But the other really big difference is freshness. It's made here, and we drink way more Guinness per capita than anywhere else in the world. So they still say 1 in every 3 beers sold in Ireland today is a Guinness. So the quality Guinness you get here is so much better because it's fresher, and when you go at home it's never as fresh. Like, for just simple thing, there's 88 pints in the average size keg, and these things here, this pub here, it's a barrel, but it's similar to a keg size, not that dissimilar. So the kegs are generally based in the and in a busy bar Dublin Saturday night, those kegs have to be changed every few hours, and the keg wouldn't have, be pretty fresh anyway, because it wouldn't have travelled too far to get here, to get to the pub, because it's in Dublin. The Guinness brewery itself is only about 10-minute drive away from where we are now, and it's always fresh, where you might take Guinness and go to another part of the world and you might have had a Guinness that's been in a keg for a few days, for a few weeks, and when you get like Guinness that tastes really bitter, it's because it's been in a keg for too long, and it just never gets out of here. But Guinness will very rarely last in a keg in Dublin for more than a day, maybe 2 days maximum. But as I said to you, there are certain bars in Dublin that do serve better Guinness than others, and I have a simple premise in this: being a Guinness drinker and being a tour guide in Dublin, it's bars that do not serve food, small little bars that don't have room for a kitchen, that people go to for the quality of the beer. So I just randomly walk past one, but I know the Guinness is good here. It's called the Dame Tavern. So let's go a little bit closer for a second. You can see the Dame Tavern dates back to 1884. Now you can see the size of it, it's not that big. It's the entrance. It does go around a little bit to the side. But the Dame Tavern just extends up to where we see the Guinness picture of the pint just up there in the top right hand side, and it goes a little bit smaller on the other side, so it's quite small inside. You can see the extent of the bar and the distance there. Let's go a little bit closer for a second. I'm not going to go inside, disturb, but it's quite small inside. Okay, it's a pretty bar, but one of the reasons why here is so good is you have full-time bartenders. So the small little bars, generally people go for the quality of the beer, and you get full-time bartenders working inside, and they know all the little subtle things to ensure the Guinness quality is good, and they take pride in what they do. So the owner of this bar, his name escapes me, but I know he has been working as a bartender for many years now, and a few of the guys who work behind the bar work full-time as well. So that's a trade, it's a profession. You take pride in what you do. So the little subtle things you need to do to ensure the Guinness quality is good is you need to clean the lines. So the line that connects the keg to where it's poured, that needs to be clean. And Guinness actually do come to every bar in Ireland, and they do clean the lines every few weeks. But certain bars will clean the lines themselves every, possibly even within a week, because they take more pride in the quality of what they're offering you. Other things to note as well, which makes a difference, is the cleaning glasses properly. So you need to make sure that you clean beer glasses properly. You see a beer glass actually just on that barrel there. Well, that goes in. When they put the beer glass into the dishwasher, there'll be nothing that had food in it. But when you have food, anything related to food, and milk particularly actually, if you have anything related to milk in the same wash, it will contaminate the glass, and it will actually leave some kind of element of a taste. I'd say a stain on the glass when you drink the Guinness after. So full-time bartenders know these subtle things, and they would pay more attention to that. Doing the pour correctly. The Guinness has a 2-pour system, so you have 2 elements to the Guinness. You can see these guys that drink Guinness here closer, a gentleman there, and you can see there is a black bit and the little bit on top is the white. And the white is actually nitrogen gas, nitrogen bubbles. And the reason why the Guinness doesn't get poured all the way to the top, actually generally when you pour a pint of Guinness to the level of that gentleman has there is where it gets poured to, about 3/4 of a glass. The reason being is it gives time for the nitrogen level to separate itself from the dark stuff, which is the original beer. And that takes anywhere to about a minute. Now you'll hear some people that doesn't really matter, it's a bit of a Guinness gimmick, but I've talked to enough full-time bartenders to say it is important, because you need to make sure you have the nitrogen level correct, and then when you do the second pour, you know how to do the pour based on what you get with the first pour. So for example, if you feel that you come out with too much nitrogen, well then you can actually pour it, the top up you might say, the second bit, to release less nitrogen. And that's, for example, if I'm behind the bar and I pour the tap towards the person on the other side who's paying for it, so away from myself, that doesn't release nitrogen. But if I do want to release nitrogen with the top up, I will pour towards myself as a bartender. Subtle thing, but again, knowing how to do that correctly is very important, and getting that balance correct is actually quite important. So again, full-time bartenders do have a huge interest in that and do take much more ownership of making sure they're all correct. The worst thing could ever happen to a full-time bartender is someone complaining about their pint of Guinness. That's like the biggest slap in the wrist they could ever get. And the last thing makes a difference, so why small bars are really important, is the proximity from the keg to where the beer is poured is actually vital. And from my understanding, basic understanding, that relates to all beer. So if you have a short line, as in not much distance the beer has to travel up the line to get from the keg towards poured, it's going to help the quality of your beer, because it's going to, my basic understanding of this is because it relates to oxygen getting into the line, and that impacts the taste of what you taste in your beer. So you don't want to have a long line, and these bars are so small, their basements are actually just behind them, so right, like just below. So when they're pouring the last bit of the Guinness, the second bit of the pour, or sorry, when they're pouring the Guinness, the beer doesn't have to travel too far up the line, so it's actually getting less oxygen getting into the beer, and that impacts the quality. So only small bars with tiny basements that don't have room for a kitchen generally can achieve that. And these are the kind of bars that we kind of joke we call old man bars. They generally have the best Guinness. So I'll mention a few bars that would be renowned for having really good quality Guinness in Dublin. Again, they all do not serve food. The Dame Tavern that we're outside here. The Long Hall, H-A-L-L, Long Hall, Bruce Springsteen's favourite pub, by the way. And that's on Ainger Street, Long Hall. Then you have Mulligan's, it's an Irish surname, M-U-L-L-I-G-A-N-S, on Poobag Street. McNeil's on Capel Street, M-C-N-E-I-L-S, McNeil's on Capel Street. We have also on Capel Street, Piper's Corner, Piper's Corner on Marlborough Street, really good for quality Guinness. Jack Neelan's on Capel Street, Jack Neelan's, really good Guinness. And Brogan's on Dame Street is another good pub. And lastly, Bowes, B-O-W-E-S, Bowes is on Fleet Street. And the Palace on Fleet Street as well. The Palace is another great pub for a pint of Guinness. There's loads more. But it's full-time bartenders. It's also a place that people go for the Guinness. Like generally you go to a pub like this, you see most people drinking Guinness, as you can see all across there. They're all drinking Guinness. And inside there, the vast majority of people will drink Guinness because they know when they go here, the Guinness is good, and that's what they're going for. They're not going for food. They're going for conversation and the quality of the beer. So the bars that do not serve food have the best Guinness in Dublin. I'm just going to mention a few of them I named already. The Dame Tavern, the Long Hall, Mulligan's, McNeil's, Jack Neelan's, Piper's Corner, the Palace Bar on Fleet Street, because there is 2 Palace bars in Dublin, and lastly I mentioned Bowes. Now there's loads more, like O'Donoghue's as well. It's a great pub actually for Guinness quality on Marion Row, and there's lots and lots of others like Dohney and Nesbitt's, Toners, all good Guinness as well. There's so many great places for Guinness in Dublin. I could be here all night trying to remember all the names of pubs. I love Guinness in Dublin. Very rarely you get a bad pint of Guinness, but there are just some bars that are better than others. If you want to learn more about Guinness, we actually do a tour all about Guinness, and it's a kind of a mixture of a walking tour, going to places that relate to Guinness, the Guinness family and the history in the city, because they've got great history in Dublin City, and also learning more about these subtle things related to Guinness that we've just explained in this video. And that actually also includes a guided tour of the Guinness storehouse, which the Guinness storehouse do not offer anybody. So it's a private tour. We will offer you a guided tour of the Guinness storehouse. That's including that tour. That's the Dublin Guinness tour. You'll find that on our DublinPrivateTour.com website, and we also do another tour, which is a walking tour, but also includes, you go into a bar like this where they teach you how, a full-time bartender teaching you how to pour the perfect pint of Guinness. It's kind of a really cool thing. They actually get you in behind the bar and teach how to pour the perfect pint of Guinness, and that's part of the tour. But it includes about a 90-minute, an hour and a half walk around the city as well. So you don't feel so guilty when you go for your pint, because you felt you've learned something and done something for the day. That's kind of a sightseeing for 90 minutes, and then you learn how to pour the perfect pint of Guinness in a really authentic Victorian pub in Dublin. That's Victorian, meaning date back to 1800s, from a full-time bartender. But all the tours we do are all on DublinPrivateTour.com. DublinPrivateTour.com. Feel free, it's going to go back to me actually here. That you can also like this video, subscribe to the channel, Dublin Private Tour, and hopefully we might see you on one of our tours soon. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your day, guys. I'm going to say goodbye. Sorry, Instagram as well, Dublin Private Tour. Everything is just Dublin Private Tour. Simple as that. Okay, see you guys, bye.